In this lesson, you'll learn how to specify which rows a select statement will return. Select always returns rows and columns. You can specify which rows you get by using a where filter. For example, consider this query. This query will select three columns, name, continent, and region, from the country table. Let's go ahead and execute it and see what happens. There we have the entire table, all 239 rows, and we have three columns, name, continent, and region. And those are the same three columns that we specified in our select statement, as we expected, name, continent, and region, from the country table in the World Database. Now suppose we don't want all of those rows. Suppose we want only the rows where the country is in Europe. So we can add a where clause to our query to specify which rows we want. Where continent equals Europe. Now when we run this query, we should get only those rows where the continent says Europe. And there we are. We now have just 46 rows, and all of them have Europe in the continent column. So let's take a look at how this works. The where clause is specified with the keyword where. The where clause takes a condition as its argument. In this case, the condition is continent equal to Europe. So continent is the name of the column. Europe is the literal string here. You'll notice it has single quotes, and that makes it a literal string. And the comparison operator is the equal sign. So this condition means where continent equals to Europe. This literal string, you'll notice, has single quotes, and that is what makes it a literal string. And it has the letters in it that make up the word Europe. The equal sign means that this condition will only evaluate to true, and the select statement will only return those rows where the continent column has these exact letters in it, no more, no less. So if the continent column has Europe with a space at the end, for example, it's not going to satisfy this condition, and it will not be listed here. Only those rows that exactly satisfy the condition will be returned, and in this case that was 46 of them. In this lesson, you learned how to select specific rows from a table using the where clause. This is useful for getting part of a table when there may be a lot more rows than you're interested in working with.